My name is Marty and welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is my first video. I'm excited and nervous to be filming this, but I think this will be a fun journey to take, filming videos for the first time. For this first video, I wanted to just take the opportunity to introduce myself to you, get to know you guys as well and talk to you guys through the screen, and also do a WIP parade and show off some of the things that I am working on so you can get to know me and my WIPs. So yeah, I guess to start, I am a graduate student at the University of Maryland studying library science. So I'll have a Master's of Library and Information Science at the end. I live with my husband in a fraternity house, which is a super fun adventure for your first 2 years of marriage, and we have been living here since August of last year. It allows tuition remission and a free place to stay, which is a huge blessing, but we have a really small space, so I have to get kind of creative with where I display my stitching and how I store my stitching as well. I have been stitching since 2015, I think. I started with just like a My First Stitch kit from the craft store. It was of a little bird and it said, "P.S. I love you," and it had some cute buttons to attach. I don't have a picture of it because it's in storage with a lot of our stuff because we live in a tiny little frat house apartment, but maybe one day I can find a picture of it and show it to you. That was my first one. I fell in love with stitching as soon as I started that one. I had wanted to do a craft for a long time, but I don't really have any other talents. I can't paint or draw, or I can't sew yet, but I'd like to learn. And so I think cross-stitching just seemed like a good fit. My maternal grandmother cross-stitched. She passed away when I was young, but my mom has some of her pieces still hanging in her house. Next time I visit her, I'll have to take a picture. She has this big piece. It's like a cut-through house, like a Victorian house. I think it was a leisure arts pamphlet. I think I was able to find the chart online. But it's gorgeous, and I was always really enthralled by that as a child, so my freshman year of college, I went and picked up that kit, and the rest is kind of history. I did a second kit, or I started a second kit after the first one because I enjoyed it so much, and I just went back to the craft store and got another one that looked easy, that wasn't like a big dimensions kit, and it was of a rocket ship and the moon, and it said, "I love you to the moon and back." It wasn't really my aesthetic. I didn't really love the colors or the design, but I didn't really know what else to buy. That one has since been abandoned. But after that, I found Etsy patterns, and I love the movie Tangled, and so I found I've Got a Dream, like lyric sampler kind of pattern. I don't think it's still available anymore, but I was a silly beginner, and I stored it underneath my sewing box, and the fabric got moldy, actually. It was super gross, and that one also got abandoned, unfortunately. But after that, we've had no more mishaps like that, thankfully. And the rest is kind of, history. Like I said, it's been lots of stitching since then. I think I discovered Flosstube in either 2018 or 2019 after Googling how to do something cross-stitch related. I kept seeing Flosstube videos come up and was just curious and clicked and fell down the rabbit hole pretty hard, as lots of people do. So that's a little bit about me and how I've been getting into stitching, and how I've discovered Flosstube, which has been a lot of fun to watch everyone's videos. And so now I think I will start introducing my works in progress. I'll show first the one I'm currently working on, which I hope I can finish today. It's super close to a finish. I do have some homework and some other things going on, but I'm really close. I think I can do it. So this is Autumn Doodles by Heart and Hand. Here's the cover. Some really pretty autumn tones and little motifs. All I really have left to do is the stem here in this flower, and some little details in the eyes and the sunflower. But I'm really close, and this has been really fun to stitch. This is my first time stitching on 36 count linen, which has been super fun. Not as challenging as I thought it would be. I actually bought a pair of super cheap readers online for just a couple dollars, just in case I couldn't see the holes, but it's been really good. I'm doing everything called for on this piece. This is 36 count Winter's Brew by R&R, and then it's a mix of fancy floss that's called for in the pattern. I got all my supplies from Fire Poppies, which is in Summerville, South Carolina, which is right near where I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina. And I always love visiting when I'm back, and I do a lot of my shopping for DMC and just other supplies through there. They have super fast shipping, so there's my plug for Fire Poppies. But yeah, this pattern has been so fun, perfect for fall. My husband and I were watching The Amazing Race, and I got a lot done last night. So I think today this will be a finish. This is a needle minder from House of Mang on Instagram. It is the carpet from Aladdin. I use a mixture of Q-snaps and hoops. This is a Nerga, butchering the German language or whatever language that is. Apologies for that, but I saw them first on Rika House of Stitch and Stash on her channel, and I got mine on Amazon, and they definitely hold tension better, much better than just like craft store hoops. You actually use a screwdriver to tighten them, and so they do get really tight, which I really like, good tension. So, yay! My second WIP is from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and it is the Cozy Cafe Stitch Along. Sorry, I'm on my iPad, so there might be a glare. I'm all caught up through the coffee. I haven't started the newest section yet. I keep this WIP in the little Cozy Cafe bag that they released when they released the beginning of the Stitch Along. It's been folded up, so it's not going to be the most glamorous looking WIP, but here we go. So the coffee is the most recent release, and then the next one will go up here. So I'm really excited to see how this one goes and to see what the next couple drinks are. One more look. The Frosted Pumpkin is releasing a new Stitch Along in next month in October called Maple Lane, and I have all my supplies ready to go for that. There's going to be like a trolley, I think, and just some cute autumn scenes, and I'm really excited for that. My next WIP is from Autumn Lane Stitchery, and it is Hawaiian Mermaid. Sorry for the glare again. She's super cute and has a lot of really fun colors. She lives in a bag from Lollipop Stitches on her Etsy, and it is Beauty and the Beast. I have all my floss for this in a Floss Buddy, or no, yeah, from Bags Plus. I think this one's called a Bendy Flip, but super nice and organized there. And here is Hawaiian Mermaid. I don't know where I got this needle minder, but I really love the Pooh name tag there. I finished her whole body and tail, and now I am just working on some of the coral sections around that will go around her. And I don't think that will take too long. I just stopped working on it once summer ended and I wanted fall stitching, but I think she'll be done pretty fast. My next WIP is from Stories X Stitches on Etsy. It is the Night Court Insignia. This is from the book series, the A Court of Thorns and Roses book series. And yeah, it's a reference from there. And I keep this one in a bag from Bags by Wendy. She sells on Instagram. And I first heard about her through Annie from Joyfield Stitcher. And she has some really nice bags. The back is a really pretty pattern, and then you can't see yet, but the inside is the Toy Story aliens. I think they're super cute. This one is stitched on plastic canvas with DMC threads, and here's where I am so far. I've actually stitched this once before for my friend Caroline. Hi Caroline, I don't think you're watching this, but hi. And she introduced me to this book series, and so I did this one for her, and now I'm doing it again for myself. I like to do it if I have just a few minutes or I need something on the go, because the plastic canvas is easier to carry around than a hoop because it's flat. But I think this one will go pretty quick as well. Oop. Next, I have, oh, I don't have the cover picture for this one. I'll try and put it on the screen if I can Google how to do that, and if not, I apologize. But this is a work in progress by Doreen Jones. It's in a Dot Dot Goose project bag, and it is a nativity scene. And so I have all my threads here again. But I saw it first in the World of Cross Stitching magazine, December 2018 edition, and I can access those magazines, a lot of cross stitch magazines, actually through the Libby app, through my public library system. I still actually have a library card through the Charleston Library, but I think a lot of libraries give you access to Overdrive or Libby. Those are two apps you can use to listen to audiobooks, read magazines, all for free through your library. And through there, I can check out Cross Stitcher, World of Cross Stitching, and some of the other like special editions of those, like the Halloween ones and the Christmas ornament ones, and like that beautiful contemporary cross stitch book that was put out by magazine publishers on mine. So I read the pattern through the Libby app, but this pattern is available in the Doreen Jones Etsy shop. She has intended them, I think, to be finger puppets, which is super cute. And I plan on having them arranged like in a manger scene stable, which is kind of how it was in the cover photo. So hopefully I can put that in the video. But yeah, so we'll start. This is the most recent one I've done. This is a cute little angel. They have a lot of back stitching, but they look really good, I think. Here's Mary and baby Jesus and Joseph. I am doing everything as charted except for some of the skin tones. I made them a little bit deeper, and then Joseph had a white beard and he looked super old, and so I gave him a brown beard because I didn't want him to look much older than Mary. I'm not sure how accurate biblically that is, but yeah, I just didn't love the white beard. And so I plan on finishing these as she shows, because they kind of stand up on their own, and then yeah, having it be just a little cross-stitch manger scene. I'm trying to get one a month done, so I have successfully done that for the last 3 months. There's still the wise men, all 3 of them, and a shepherd to do. So I'm in no rush to have these done, hopefully maybe by next Christmas, but just as soon as I can. My next WIP is from Abby Sue Designs on Etsy. It is called Scarlet Witch Figure. So it's Wanda from WandaVision, which my husband and I have been really enjoying the Marvel content on Disney+. We haven't watched Loki yet. We are watching all of the Marvel movies in timeline order. On Disney+, they have the option to go through the movies chronologically, like as they happened in the Marvel universe. And so we're kind of waiting till we get through that to watch Loki. But I got this cute bag on Stash Unloading. I'm not sure if the person who makes it sells regularly. I haven't seen any more, but I love the foxes. This is on, oh sorry, I don't think I was saying fabric for the manger scene. That's just a 16 count Fiddler's Ada for the manger scene. This is, and I'm not 100% sure because this is the first linen I ever bought, and I ended up not using it for the project I was intending it for, and so I have since lost the name tag. But I'm pretty sure it's Dapple from Picture This Plus, but again, not 100% sure. And like I said, my husband and I are watching all of the Marvel movies, and so I work on this when we watch one. I think the most recent one we watched was Guardians of the Galaxy. But here is Wanda so far. Her hair is beautiful, but it's taking a lot longer than I thought. And then it's not a full body picture. It only goes to about maybe her knees. So Hopefully the bottom goes fast, but I'm really enjoying working on it regardless. And it's fun to watch. It's fun to know every time we watch a Marvel movie, I'll pull this one out, and that's a lot of fun. This work in progress is from Hello from Liz Matthews and lives in this cute Goose Designs bag. It has like the jean pockets on the inside. I don't have the cover photo for this one because I just realized it's in my pattern binder, but hopefully I'll figure out editing. But if not, it's going to say, "Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends." This is a stitch along with Stitches by Shelby. Hi Shelby, if you watch this. I love Shelby. I love her videos. Go watch her if you haven't. I'm sure a lot of people have, but she is great. I think, Shelby, you also work in a library. I don't work in a library right now, but I have in the past and hope to in the future. But yes, so this is a stitch along. The hashtag is Hello Old Friends Sal, and I posted about it on my Instagram before, and so has she. And I believe Honeybee Stitcher just finished hers, which is super exciting, and hers is gorgeous. It is one of Liz's typography patterns, and she also did one that said, "How sweet is it to be loved by you?" And I finished that one. My husband and I had that song play at our wedding, and so I bought that one immediately and finished it. It has not been fully finished, so hopefully I'll show that when I do my parade of finished objects that are patiently waiting for frames. But here is where I am so far. I am stitching this on 32 count even weave from Fabric Flair in the color Whitewash Board. I love Fabric Flair fabrics. This one is supposed to look like wooden planks. These are patterned or printed on the front and then white on the back. And this is a cute needle minder from the Frosted Pumpkins last year's stitch along, which was the Chinese Zodiac. But this is where I got to. I started it for my birthday in July. I don't think I worked on it very long, maybe a week. But it goes pretty fast, and I am really enjoying the letters. So there's that one. I hope to finish this one and the other piece, the How Sweet It Is piece, in similar frames, like maybe near some of our wedding portraits or something. I think that would be cute. But there is that one. Oh, I'm using a DMC variegated thread. I believe it's DMC 4000. It's just kind of dark gray to brown to gray, but it looks really good with, I guess, the wooden feel of the fabric. This is a work in progress next here that I was working on recently for Sampler September until I ran out of thread. This lives in a bag by Erica House. It is Peter Pan. Hope you can tell the Disney theme that I have going on in my project bags. This one is, I believe, an out-of-print chart that was graciously gifted to me by someone on Facebook. It is Winter Sampler by Birds of a Feather, and I absolutely love it. I want to say I first saw this a few years ago, maybe not that long ago even, on Just Keep Stitchins' Flosstube. That might be wrong, but I fell in love with it, realized it was out of print, and put an In Search Of post on Stash Unloading, and someone was really kind and sent it to me for free. There's a close-up of the design, and I did change the fabric and thread on this one just a little. Well, the fabric a lot, but the thread just a little. Let me unfold it here and not lose a needle in my lap. This one is also on a Fabric Flair. I'm not 100% sure of the name. Oh, Snow on Blue is a 28 count linen. And here is where I am so far. My needle minder is also from Stash Unload. It says Be the Light. And the threads I am using are, in the letters, it calls for 2 shades of essentially black. And that's how it, in the chart, like on the cover page, I can't really tell it's 2 colors. But I did 2 colors, and I think you can kind of tell in person. One's kind of warmer and one's kind of more gray. Sorry, my computer went to sleep. I don't know if that affected the video. But for the lighter color, which fewer letters are stitched in, I used Weeks Dye Works Onyx. And then the color that I ran out, I have plenty of that. The color that I ran out of is the Gentle Art Espresso Bean. And Fire Poppies was out last time I checked, and so I'll just keep waiting until they get it in stock. Or there is an LNS kind of near me, and I don't think I pronounced this right, Catonsville, Maryland. It's called The Stitching Post, and I have been twice, and that's where I originally got the floss for this fabric. And really amazing store, but I think they're closed for renovations right now, and so I might try and order some from them. We'll see. But I do want to get this back out because I started it last year in November for, I believe it was Julie from Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World did a Black Friday stitch along where you stitched on something in black on Black Friday, and I started it then, and then I got a little bit done, but I got most of this done this past month in Sampler September. And so I'd like to work on it again in November because that's when I started it last year, so I need to find some espresso bean before then. But yeah, there's Winter Sampler. I love the letters. I love the stag. Super excited. I'm not sure how I want to finish this one. I don't really know how to sew. I have a sewing machine in storage, not with me here, that I was able to get for free from a department on campus at my other university that was not using them anymore. And I have a very loose grasp on how to use it. I made a pillow out of Atlanta Braves fabric for my brother, but that's about it. And so I'd like to take maybe some classes from Joann's or something when we're out of the frat house and I can set it up so I can use it to finish cross stitches, and I have like the Nativity Scene and some other things that will need to be sewn finished. I think I can do it. I just need a little bit of help. And yeah, so I think this might be cute as like a soft wall hanging on like a winter themed, oh gosh, I don't even know, like rod. And yeah, that's kind of my idea, but again, I'll need to figure out my sewing machine a little bit more before I attempt that. And then this WIP is in a South Carolina bag. It's really big, but I fold it. From Garon Toten Bags. I hope I pronounced that right. And I got it because I love South Carolina and live in Maryland right now, and so it's a fun reminder of home. I think they have bags for a lot of the other states as well. There's, Rainbow Row and the state flag, and lots of fun South Carolina and Charleston things. But it's huge. I could keep 4 WIPs in here probably. The only one that I currently have in here, though, is Ghosties and Gourds from Hands On Design. It's from the Banner Years series. I have all of the Banner Years so far. This is the only one I have started, though. I'm doing it in the called for threads, which are kind of a mess. But it calls for color and cotton, and there was a thread pack for it, and I just went ahead and bought that because they were gorgeous. Boop, boop, boop. Here they are in such a state as they are. And this is on the called for fabric, which is Kermit by Picture This Plus. It's called for in a 32 count, but when I was at Fire Poppies last year, they had it in 16 count, which is equivalent, so I just grabbed it that way. I have a really big piece. I will have leftovers for sure. And I have a pretty small start. This was really fun to stitch, and I think in October I'm going to pull it back out again. I'm not in a huge rush to finish it because here in our little tiny apartment, I don't have a lot of room for like seasonal decorating. Such a big piece. But hopefully next year I will, and it's really fun to work on. The materials are really pleasant to work on, like the Picture This Plus Ada is very soft, and the color and cotton is just gorgeous. So hopefully this comes back out in October. Speaking of October, I do sort of have a lot of cross-stitching plans for October. There are several stitch-alongs starting that I plan on starting along. The first is, I think I mentioned earlier, Maple Lane from the Frosted Pumpkin. That's all ready to go and kitted up. And that one starts later in the month, I think. And then Lakeside Needlecraft and Doreen Jones are doing a stitch-along for a wreath that goes in a double hoop finish that's super beautiful. And this year I stitched Round Robin by Doreen Jones, which is also a wreath. There's several photos of it on my Instagram, but I had so much fun stitching that I felt the need to do another Doreen Jones wreath this year. I think this one will have a lot of cute little Christmas birds, and I think that starts earlier in October and is releasing twice a month, and so hopefully I can keep up with both of those and fit in Ghost Using Gourds in October. I have one final WIP that I also do not currently have a cover photo for, but will look one up, hopefully. This is by Pole Stitches, and it's called Hearts and Flowers, and I saw it first on, I don't want to ruin your channel name, I think it's Jay's Stitching. I will tag her on my Instagram post, and hopefully she can correct me if I'm wrong. But she stitched this, and it was just gorgeous. I'm not 100% sure what my fabric is. I know it's a 32 count linen. Maybe I have the tag. Oops. It's from the Crafty Kitten, and it's May 2019 limited edition. I think I got that on Stash Unload because I don't have any other Crafty Kitten fabric, but I really like it. I'm stitching it with a Threadworks floss in, I think it's just a number, 01094, if you need the reference number. But it's so pretty, and it's just a monochrome kind of geometric design piece. Here's my little start. I started it for March Madness in March with the Steel City Stitchers, and this is as far as I got on its assigned one day, and it didn't win that bracket, and so I haven't picked it up since. Poor thing, but I really enjoy the floss just so much, and so hopefully this comes back out next year. I'm thinking about doing WIP Go next year, which I'm sure I'll explain very poorly, but Jessie Marie Does Stuff started a super fun Facebook group. I think she started off just doing it for herself, but it's WIP Go, like bingo, and she calls different numbers each month, which kind of dictates which projects you choose. And so I think that'll help me feel more motivated to work on it, and yeah, just give me like an excuse to pull it out. But that is my last WIP officially. Hopefully I was able to put those pictures in. Yeah, and I think I'll come back in 2 weeks and do a parade of all my kitted projects, and then we can go through finishes 2 weeks from then, and then just keep going with some stash flashes in coming videos. As far as plans for the next, I guess 2 weeks, I really want to finish this Autumn Doodles piece, which hopefully is done today. And then I had seen a lot of really fun sampler September pieces being started and finished. Sorry, I'm looking at my iPad to find a cover photo. And so that one has a sunflower in it, and so if I am able to finish that one, I might start another sunflower piece. This is Sunflower Street from Stitching with the Housewives. I got just an instant download on their Etsy page, and I have all the materials to do it, and so I might just go ahead and start it in these last couple days of September after that one is finished. And then I will work on my Cozy Cafe also, because I'd love to get the next drink done before all the stitch-alongs, or the 2 stitch-alongs I'm starting in October, begin, so that I'm not too overwhelmed with stitch-alongs in October. And those are kind of my tentative plans. Anything can happen. And then I think the last thing I'll talk about is books. So like I mentioned earlier, I am in library school to become hopefully a public librarian. I worked at the library in Charleston for a year and loved it before we moved here. I've always loved books. I'm always reading a book. I read a lot for school now, but I try and get some, pleasure reading in at night. So I don't know how often I'll have a book to talk about, but I will talk about them as often as I do. Where did I put them? Oh, sorry. So I'm reading 2 books currently, which is a little unusual, but one, it'll make sense. So like I mentioned when I showed you the Night Court Insignia piece, I recently read through the whole A Court of Thorns and Roses series, thanks to my friend, and I was obsessed with them. I had never really read a lot of fantasy before, and because I think I just didn't know where to start. I knew there was just so much out there, and I just wasn't sure where to go first. But luckily I had a friend help, and just got completely obsessed with those books in the middle of the school semester. It wasn't good. But they're by Sarah J. Maas, and she has written some other series, and so I decided to go ahead and start her other series as well because I've heard they are also good. So I am reading currently Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first in the series. I think there's 5 or 6. I'm not sure. But yes, this is the first one, and I am really liking it so far. I'm a little over halfway done. Luckily, my university does interlibrary loan, so I can get like any book sent to my library here on campus, so it's pretty easy to get books quickly, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I have predictions of what I think will happen. I don't want to say anything or like what will transpire, but it's been really good so far, and I was worried it would be really similar to the other series. I don't know why. It's not. That was irrational, but really good so far. We'll keep updated as I go. The second book I'm reading is a book that actually our pastor wrote. It's called Even If, Trusting God When Life Disappoints, Overwhelms, or Just Doesn't Make Sense. And again, not finished with this one, but I have just started it, and it's been really encouraging, and yeah, a really good read so far. I can't recommend it as a whole yet, but it's a good possibility if you're a person of faith. So yeah, I think that's all I have for my video today. I am so appreciative if you've made it this far. If you have watched this video where I'm sure I was very clumsy. I'm not a very elegant or graceful person by nature, but I've had a lot of fun watching Flosstube, and I saw Allie from Misfit Stitches post her first video, and she's lovely, and she was really encouraging about me starting a video, and so thank you, Allie, and I am totally excited, to be here in this space, and let me know if you have any questions, or if something I said about a WIP didn't make sense, or if I didn't say what floss, or something like that. But yeah, I'll sign off for now, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.